What's up guys, Untitled Studios here, and today we have another drop test. I'm about to repair the screen and the back panel on this Galaxy S7, although it's not too bad, so we're going to go ahead and do a drop test. In fact, the display is still working, so we're going to do a drop test. Hopefully this display will survive, perhaps with just some cracks, and the actual display will keep working so I can use this as a test display, but we're about to find out. Because I've had a theory, and this theory has had plenty of evidence, that the flat screen Galaxy phones like the standard S7 are actually a lot more brittle and a lot more fragile than the curved screen devices like the S7 Edge. Reason being, this flat screen is obviously not as flexible as the Edge displays, therefore is a lot easier to actually crack to the point where the phone is unusable. Because on the S7 Edge and a lot of the curved screen phones, if the screens start to go out, they might have a green line or they might just have a dot out of the screen, but overall will still work. However, on a lot of these flat screen ones, if there's the slightest of cracks, the screen will be completely dead and unusable. So we're going to test that today. So we have a complete, fully working, fully good display Galaxy S7, which is a couple cracks on the bottom of the screen right there. The home button's kind of worn out too, but the top of the screen is actually in really good condition. We do have plenty of dents and scratches on the side, but we got a little chip right there which led to the back cracking. And then we have another one on this side, another one on this side, where again the back is cracked, but again, not all the way. So we're going to see how well that works. So starting off, we can see all the touch is working just fine. Volume buttons, working just fine. Power button, working just fine. Camera, working just fine as well. So we're going to see and make sure all of that works going forward with this test. So, as usual, in traditional drop test fashion, we're going to start off from waist height, chest height, and then head height on the bottom, on the top, on the front, and on the back. Not quite in that order. And this surface is mostly flat, but there is a lot of little pitted areas, so there's a very realistic drop test. I actually wanted to do this on my front porch, but it seems like this would be more consistent with my other drop tests. So we're going to see how all that does. So starting off, this is what the bottom of the phone looks like. And we're going to do a bottom drop test from waist height. 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice little flip right there. I don't have any slow-mo cameras, unfortunately. But we can see that pretty much nothing happened. We have a little scuff right here. You can tell it landed on this corner. Didn't actually crack the glass from that impact. The screen is still working just fine. So just your basic drop, nothing too major. Although if you are holding it like this, it is very sharp in the hand. Okay, so now we'll do the same thing on the top. The glass is not cracked. So top drop from waist height. 3, 2, 1. Oh, perfect little thud right there. And, okay, glass is not cracked. We do have a little scuff right there on the glass. Display is still working. Touch and everything fully good. I don't notice any additional cracks as a result. Maybe like one little crack right there, but it seems like that wouldn't have happened if there had been no cracks on the display. Do we see any damage as a result of that drop? I don't really see any. Actually, it looks like it landed on this corner, not this corner. But yeah, so just a little scuff on the antenna band. Actually, mostly wipes away. Just got that little nick right there. Nothing too major. All right. And now, I'm going to do waist height on the back. 3, this is going to end badly. 3, 2, 1. Okay. And yep, exactly what we would expect. Back glass is fully shattered. Although it is still relatively smooth. We can see the main impact is right there on that corner. Bottom corner didn't really get much of an impact, but this top corner we can see that's where the pressure point was, and that caused the back to entirely shatter. As far as the front is still working. No issues with the front of the phone. So everything is still working. Screen is still working. Touch is still working. How about the camera? Camera's still working. The actual camera glass isn't cracked. So that is just fine. I'll see my fingers in the way. That could hurt. So there is that. Now we're going to do face down from waist height. This could end poorly. I actually suspect that the display will not survive this. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yep. Does not look good. And, ooh, okay. Display is still functional, so that's good. It's very good, in fact. And no additional damage on the bottom, at least not that I can see. Actually, it seems like it's discolored down here for some reason. There is a small, see, there are some scuffs on the display, and a very small hairline crack. This will focus on it. It doesn't seem to want to focus. Try not to drop my Note 9. See, small hairline crack up there, but you can't feel it. It's extremely smooth unless you actually like dig in it with your nail. If you're just running your finger over it, it's very smooth, so it's not going to cut you or anything. And yeah, so survives the waist height drop, no problem. Screen is still working. Very, very happy to see. So very minimal damage. In fact, that's the kind of thing where, you know, you can see it kind of dug up on that corner a little bit. Nothing too major. So yeah. That's what the back looks like. I expect the back to shatter a little bit more as these trials go on, but still working, so that's great. So now we're going to go from chest height on the bottom. Again, this is what the bottom looks like right now. So if we see any scuffs or dents, you can see what that looks like afterwards. Chest height. I'm going to focus on the ground. So chest height. 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice little flip right there. Sounded very good. And ooh, yeah. So we can see the main impact was on the same corner that it was previously. So that's scuffing up very well. We actually have sharp metal kind of sticking out as well as part of the antenna band. But the glass on that side still has not cracked, amazingly enough. So it has not pushed in enough to actually crack the glass due to the uneven pressure. So yeah, there's that. Now we're going to do the same thing, except on the top. So top drop from chest height. I suspect if it lands on that same corner that it may crack it. Top drop from chest height. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that slid. Very slippery phone. S7 is a very slippery phone. And we can see the way that it landed was, again, towards the front, so that's my bad for it not landing directly on the side. But it's a little bit more realistic because a lot of times your phone doesn't fall straight down. It'll fall at an angle. And we can see the display is cracked. Power button feels a little bit squishy. Nah, that's fine. Display is still working, though. Very, very nice. Good, very good to see that their display is still functional. This device is still usable, even though the back very shattered. In fact, it seems to have shattered more on this end from one of the drops. We don't want to set up email right now. This looks very bad. So yes, that was the top drop from chest height. And now the back drop from chest height. In 3, this is going to end badly. In 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Okay, display is still working. We can see display didn't even shut off. That's very, very good. But, because the display is much more important than the actual back glass. But we're going to see how well that... Ouch. A little bit worse. Although, honestly, okay, the glass is jutting out now. We do have some more impacts right here. Still a smooth part right here, though. Honestly, not as bad as I thought it would be for a chest height drop. Display still fully working. Camera has survived the endeavor. Very nice, very nice. Except now we have the front-facing drop from chest height, and that's where we may have some trouble with this display. So we're going to see how well that goes. So we can see display fully working. Chest height drop test. Make sure that this is in frame so you can still see it. That's one take. Chest height drop test. This is going to be bad. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Face down, did a nice little flip, landed on the back. Any more cracks as a result of that? Not too much. Camera lens is still okay, but we're testing the front. How is the front? Ooh. We have some shattering on the top corner. The display is off. Oh, but I see the always on display. Yes, display is still functional. That's fantastic. The glass, yes, while the glass being shattered is not great news, what's important is that the phone is still usable, and the actual glass that's over the screen itself, there's a little sharpness right here, but honestly nothing too bad. This is certainly something you could deal with if given the choice. The point is, it's still working. If you need to call 911 and you need to dial an emergency call, you certainly can do that. So that's very important. Let's see, let's test all the buttons. Okay, we go to voicemail. Yep, back button, multitasking button work just fine. Entire screen, all corners are functional. Volume buttons working just fine. That's what we like to see. There is some glass in my fingers. It appears that this is shattered more as a result. So that's not great. I have glass in my fingers, but shouldn't be too bad. So we can see that right there. That's the state. That's the current state after all of the chest height drops. So we can see after all those chest height drops, back is shattered. We have some more scuffing and denting on the frame, and the glass on the front display is shattered, but no functionality has been taken away from this device thus far. That's very, very encouraging. I'm hoping this will survive all the trials, but if I had to make a prediction, I believe that from the head height drop, this display will go kaputs. Hopefully I will be proven wrong, because I would like this to actually survive. And for this to prove me a little bit wrong in it being more durable than I initially thought. So, we're going to start off from head height on the bottom of the phone. So, again, that's what the frame looks like right now. Head height on the bottom in 3, 2, 1. Oh, this phone loves to do like a bunch of flips and all sorts of fun stuff. And since it's a slippery phone, it slides a good amount too. Okay, display is still on. Phone is still functioning. Yep, the brightness is all the way up. So, oh, okay, I just noticed something. So it has landed like right on this bottom edge, this bottom front edge right here. And as a result, there is more shattering down here, which is not good. You can actually feel this dented in. In fact, that coloring that I mentioned earlier is actually the coloring from underneath the display coming up, the gold coloring. Okay, but it is still functioning. Does that button work? That button still works. Both of these buttons, in fact, still work. So that's very good. Still no functionality has been removed. Okay, that back looks bad. So yeah, still haven't lost functionality. I'm getting glass in my fingers, but no actual shards, just like little glass pellets, so to speak. So now, I'm going to try not to drop this unintentionally. We're going to drop it on the top from head height. I'm going to try to get it straight on the top in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a very good drop. Flat on the front, or flat on the top, I should say. How's the SIM card tray holding up? The SIM card tray still looks okay. Again, getting more glass in my fingers. SIM card tray still looks okay, but we did have, this is actually, even though the actual frame doesn't have much damage, it did actually push the frame into the glass and cause it to crack. But the phone is still working. The actual screen is still responsive, still showing up on the screen. You see how bad those cracks have gotten as a result of this test. Still functioning though. I'm really rooting for this thing to last all the way. 2 more drops left. Galaxy S7, can you survive the trial? Please survive the trial. So, actually head height on the back. Lawnmower sounds. Head height on the back in 3, We're going to make sure this is actually on. So if this goes kaput, so we can see it. Head height on the back in 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay, screen is still on. Did not even turn off. Screen is still entirely functional. Very, very good news. I've seen plenty of backdrops where the force causes the phone to cause the display to entirely crap out. But what does the back look like? Okay, it actually doesn't look all that much worse. There are ants crawling on the phone now. So the back actually does not look all that much worse. This one section is still uncracked. There are more splinters on this side, of course, as you'd expect, but given that impact, you would think it'd be a lot worse. The camera lens is still good. So this ring around the camera lens actually did its job at protecting the back, or at protecting the camera lens, even when the back cover has shattered. So still perfectly fine. Again, holding it like this, there's a lot of pinpoint impacts. So there is glass getting in my fingers. If I wipe this on my shirt, on my black shirt, you might be able to see all the glass shards kind of running off. It actually probably won't be able to see that. But screen is still functioning. This is getting very uncomfortable to hold right now due to the cracks on the back. So we're going to go ahead, do head height, face down. Again, display fully working. All the buttons are working. Nothing has... Check the camera. Good. Front camera. Does still work, although there is a crack directly in front of the front-facing camera. So that is going to cause the picture to be a little bit blurry. But I mean, you can't really fault it for that, because that's not the camera's fault. That's just the glass in front of the camera. The camera itself has survived the impact. Again, there is glass. I'm going to set this down for a sec. Wipe all this glass off my fingers, and we can get a nice, good look at that. Trying to gently set this down. Get a nice shot of that. Get a little picture of that. Okay. So now, for all the marbles, the front-facing drop test from head height. Again, one shot. Head height on the front. 3, 2, 1. Oh! You could hear that. Yeah, this phone is no longer functioning. I guarantee it. There's no way the display survived that. And yup, that did it. Front display is entirely shattered. And I'm trying to hold this into the light. I don't see any cracking on the AMOLED, but it's definitely there. This is... Okay, I'm in the camera now. I'm taking pictures, so the camera still works. Touch is not working. Otherwise, I would hear the unlock sound. Yep. So that does it. Yep, I'm getting little flickers on the screen. You seeing that? There's little flickers on the screen now. So yes, so head height, face down, kills the display on the Galaxy S7. See, there's a lot of flickering, a lot of green lines. The display is entirely non-functional. You can see right there, there's like a little purple triangle. It's kind of hard to see, but it is there. Yep, so that's gone kaput. Phone is no longer functional. So, if this happened to you and you were in an emergency, looks like you're SOL because your phone is not working anymore. After a head height face down drop directly on the glass, that's when the display finally cracks. Not the glass of the display, that cracked much earlier, but that's when the actual AMOLED digitizer and touch layers both shatter. So as a result, it does not respond to touch, you cannot see anything usable on the screen, and the device is no longer functional. That is very sad. So if you want your device to work again, you're going to have to replace the display on this. But on the bright side, the SIM card tray is still good. So while you replace the back, the frame, and the display, you can still reuse your SIM card tray. So that's fun, as well as all the internal components. So yeah, so this thing is completely crapped out. I was really hoping it would survive, but I didn't expect it to. I expected it to actually crack after the waist height and possibly the chest height drop, honestly. But yeah, so directly on the face, that does it in for the Galaxy S7. So now this is the second part of the drop test, where I do random drops from different heights to see how well it holds up from random heights and not just controlled drops from different heights. When?
Now. I got 10 minutes to be there.
Just drive yourself there.
I am.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just do a random drop test. So this will be as if you pull it out of your pocket and it falls. Okay, I don't know. That sounded like to me that it landed on the side. Which side drop tests are very notorious for being hard to do. But it looks like that did happen. Because there are little bite marks on either side, the side of the phone. So side drop test, just some scuffs. Again, display is still not functional. I don't expect a drop to fix the display, but sometimes you can chalk these back into working. But if you can't, that's how you know it's fully dead. So now we're going to do a chest height drop test. So chest height, this is like if you're texting and the phone falls out of your hand. 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. That was right on the bottom left corner. But again, that glass on that corner did not shatter. So yeah, you can see that's pushed in even further than it was before. Have some dents on that corner. Yep. Then now head height, as if you're talking on the phone and it falls out of your hand. So head height, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that looks like another side drop actually. Because that pretty much just landed straight down from where it was held. Yep. Yeah, because I was holding it like this, meaning that if it fell this way... Actually, no, we have some bite marks on this side, so it looks like it fell this direction. And the glass is much more shattered as a result. This entire side is just entirely shattered. But yeah. So now this is like you're carrying your phone and the glass cuts you, so you drop it out of pain. Ah! Okay. That was another front drop. And yeah. I mean, there's not really much else to report. This thing is pretty much toast. Again, since I can't unlock the screen, I can't really show the volume buttons working. But... oh, that's interesting. Is it even turned on anymore? Oh, no, I just heard the lock sound. Double tap. Did I turn on the double tap shortcut? I thought I did. Is the home button still working? I did hear the... yeah, you might... I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear. But I did hear the shortcut. The phone itself is still good. It's just the screen that is completely gone out. So... another drop. This will just be like it spins out of your hands. This will be like a really dramatic drop from waist height. 3, 2, 1. I like the way it sounds whenever it lands like on the frame. But yeah, we got some more bites on the frame. SIM card tray is still okay. I'm hoping to not have to buy that, but you know, it's like $2, so who cares? So this one side still is not cracked, which is very interesting. But yeah, so now waist height drop. This is like someone knocks it out of your hand. So like someone swats your phone out of your hand. Oh. Did you hear that? Put it up. Put it up. So, where did that land? Yeah, we're getting to the point where it's actually... oh, I think that landed on this bottom section because that's cracked now. But yeah, we're getting at the point where it's actually hard to tell what's going on. Looks like there's more shatters on the screen now. But yeah. And then now from head height, again, random angle fall. 3, 2, 1. Whew. One thing that's interesting about this phone that's actually seems like it's a good design is that when you drop it at a random angle, it seems like the way that it's weighted, it actually seems to want to fall on the corners more so than on the back of the front. Which is actually good because yes, if it lands on the corner and it's towards the front, it could crack either side of it. That's much better than landing on the front or back and completely shattering it, or in the case of the screen, making it unusable. So, good design, at least assuming, it also could just be because I'm holding it that way. But, yeah. So, another random waist height drop. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was kind of on the bottom corner, but also kind of, uneven enough to where it was able to flip itself around and have a bit of a more fun drop. Wow. So the back panel is actually lifting up. This water resistance is definitely gone now, but it is still not cracked. That is very impressive. But the front, not so much. This front's cracking even more. In fact, if we do another front-facing drop from waist height or from head height, you can see how this goes. 3, 2, 1. That was very loud. That was flat on the front. Yeah. Not much to say about that. Display. Oh yeah, it's still flickering a little bit. I don't know if you can even see that on the camera. But the display does still flicker a little bit. But is very much dead. Okay. Very shattered. And this corner is very sharp, even though there's no glass there. But yeah, so we'll see if you're texting with this and it falls out of your hand again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think that landed face down again. But not quite flat, but flat enough to make contact with glass. Not flat enough to make that awful sound. Yes, this thing's pretty toasted at this point. What if you're holding it because of how you're carefully holding it because of how cracked it is and it slips out of your hand? It lands on the back and it slides onto the rough rocks. Oh! Ha! Now that's where that corner shatters. Yeah, with how much that was sticking out, that took quite a lot to shatter. What if we get that camera lens? Let's see, will the waist height drop crack the camera lens? Oh, that flipped over. Very dramatic. We can see this thing is very badly toasted. Not much left of it as far as the glass goes. For some reason, dropping it on the frame and just hearing that thump sound is so satisfying. But this is getting pretty bad. But yeah. So, what if you're on your steps and it falls out of your pocket and lands on a step? That didn't sound very good. Oh, that looks like it actually had some impact damage. Possibly from hitting on a corner. Like this. Oh yeah, this like really rough, like studded concrete, not studded, like rocky surface would certainly do some damage to this phone. Kind of like that. Oh, yeah, I did not like that. It decided to yell at me for doing that. But it is still working, as you can tell. See, what if like I'm holding it like this and it slips out of my hand onto the bottom from above the head onto this studded asphalt. See how that goes in 3, 2, 1. Oh. I thought I felt some glass hit me. But yeah. This is getting rather ridiculous. Ooh, there's a big dent right there on that corner. Shoved right into the glass. That actually looks like the other S7 that I got before that broke. But yeah, this back is just so bad. See, and this is like, it slips out of your hand. Oh. Yeah. See, this is a scenario where the waist height drop would actually kill the screen. Because if that happened on a waist height drop, this phone would be toasted, in fact, even with the case, because of how much all this jagged rocks stick out. But yeah. And if I dropped on the back, that might actually crack the camera lens. I'm not sure if I want to do that. But yeah. So I guess we can do this again on bottom. It keeps trying to run away from me. It's very sick of the abuse that it's gotten. See all that falling up? Oh. All these random drops. That camera lens is still good though. So that camera lens, again, very much doing its job. Trying to get this to drop on the side. Ah, that was a good drop. Side drops are really hard to do. Yeah, you can tell that was a really bad side drop. Just bites all over that frame. This whole thing is getting a major repair, obviously. But yeah, another drop. See, that felt like the border kind of took the impact a little bit, because oh, there's like a bug squished on the back of it. Yeah, because that wasn't like the flat glass sounding drop. That sounded like the actual border did some of the job at the impact. Although the S7 Edge and Note 7, the glass kind of protrudes from the border more so than the S6 and Note 5 series. So the glass, even if it is stronger, although it's the same Gorilla Glass 4, the way it's actually implemented would be weaker than the previous generation. But yeah, I'm going to do another drop from head height just because. Oh, okay, that's not what I intended. See, again, this is where I'm not really trying to get this perfect, so kind of fell on the back. Wow, but that camera lens is still good. That's very impressive. Holding this phone is also very impressive because it's really hard to do at this point. Anyways, let's actually drop this on the front. Let's show you the proper way to do a drop on the front. Holding it like this and letting it fall. 3, 2, 1. Yep. Oh, whoa, that is really bad. You can actually see the glass peeling. Oh, and it's on the back too. Oh, there's glass in my fingers. I could feel that right in between the fingers too. Although the good news is that this glass, it'll kind of fall out in little chunks. It's not actually shards. That's the thing I like about Gorilla Glass. It's not nearly as dangerous whenever you do break the glass. Even though it looks really bad, it's actually not the worst. Although I am feeling glass on all sides, this is getting pretty dangerous and stupid. So I probably should end this right here. But yeah. So there's like, again, ow! Ow! Glass. I'm gonna focus on my finger. Okay, I'll just wipe that off. Yeah, because the glass isn't like little chunks. It doesn't actually pierce your skin. It actually just kind of falls off nicely. And yeah, at least as nice as broken glass can fall off. But yeah. Yeah, and I can't hold. I can wipe this on my shirt and get the excess glass shards off. I'll be able to see those falling off there. As long as they don't go in my pants, it should be okay. This is getting very dangerous and kind of stupid because the point's already been proven. The point is that the screen on the S7 breaks at head height, at least on this type of a surface. Or if you drop it really hard. Like, oh wow. Like that. See, that made the display jump up. Yeah. That was a very bad drop. That was perfectly flat, evenly distributed shatters. Not much to say about that, other than just that's a fail. Yeah. What if I crack that little top corner above the earpiece? Of course my camera didn't want to focus. Let's see, is there a way to crack that camera lens? I know if you spin it, sometimes that'll make it fall easier. Okay, right on the back. Did that do anything? Oh, there we go. So that cracked the camera lens. See that right there? Right in the corner too of the lens. So that's what it takes to crack the camera lens on the Galaxy S7. That requires a above the head drop on the back. Again, on this type of very lightly studded concrete. So that's the result of the drop test. This is Untitled Studio signing out. See you guys in the next video. And I hope you all have a good one. Peace. Put a case on your phone, people. Yeah, so this was kind of pointless. Everyone uses a case on their phone, but if you didn't want to, there you go. Don't drop it from head height on the face because your phone will not work. And don't drop it on the back or on the front at all if you want it to not be shattered, or just don't drop it at all, period, if you don't want it to show any damage. What a shock, right? Dropping your phone causes damage. That's not a new revelation. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope y'all have a good one. Peace.